meet Donna Adelson from Coral Springs, Florida. I want to hear all about you, Donna. Let's go.
Well, I'm a domestic coordinator.
A domestic coordinator?
Yes. I'm responsible for the activities, classes, and lessons of my son Robert, who is 16, Charlie, who is 12, Wendy, who is 10, my husband Harvey, who's in the audience, and my dog Sam.
All right. And how old is Sam?
5.
5. Well, good. Give him our best. Nice to have you here. And this vowels worth nothing. Consonants are going to be worth. Can we get 800? We can. All right. So I'm writing on this. Again, person is a category. Stu, still your turn. Letter, please. L. Nope, no L. Donna.
M.
Yes, there are 2 M's. Let them come up. You have 5 seconds. Person. Ellen. K. Yes, K.
Mustard maker.
Nope,
Mustard maker.
Stu. H, please. Yes, there's 1 H. Time starts now. Person. Donna.
F.
Yes.
Mischief maker.
Yeah, that's...
Nice.
You are listening to the Roberta Glass True Crime Report, putting the true back in true crime. From New York City, Roberta Glass is now on the record.
Just a quickie for today. Donna Adelson had a hearing today, a short one about the same motion Wendy Adelson has done for every trial for the murder of Dan Markel. She doesn't want to testify, or she doesn't want to answer questions from the defense because she doesn't have the same immunity deal to the defense. They're going to limit her questions, the defense's questions, to those asked by so it has to be related to the questions asked by the prosecution. John Lauro was on very loud. I mean, it just came through incredibly loud for us at home. But the real shocker came from our in-court reporter for today, Patty from Patty's Playhouse, that Harvey Adelson was very aggressive. I mean, the way that the Tallahassee papers have reported this, as it was very generous to Donna and Harvey, and said that, oh, he was just waving. But I'll let you hear how Patty described it as aggressive and scary. So you saw the picture, and let me just show it to you quickly. They caught it on, he said, did you catch that? Good. So here's Harvey. And they said, Harvey Adelson waves to the camera as he exits the courthouse after a hearing was held on his wife's trial Monday, August 18th. So that's the picture that we're talking about. Here's Patty describing it briefly.
Oh. Made for TV.
How so?
Unbelievable. So when we walked in, Harvey walks in ahead. So he sits on the first, there's only 2 benches on either side. and the defense side is short. So Harvey sits in the middle of the first bench behind, right behind Jackie Funeral Home Fulford. And Donna starts crying. So there's that. She tried not to look at Harvey after that because she was crying. Oh, my face is so close to that. Sorry about that. And then it was, the hearing goes on. Harvey is very pursed lipped. He has like a yellow polo shirt on, some like chino slacks and black, I gotta turn this fan down, and some black tennis shoes. Real high lift on them because he's short, you know, he's very short. Shorter than I thought. And oh, I was shocked. I'm taller than Harvey.
How tall is Donna, by the way? 5'5"?
She's probably about 5'4".
Okay.
Yeah. So
is he still so thin? Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, but his clothes fit today. He reduced the size of his clothing because that suit he was wearing was so heavy and large on him. When he first walked in, he had a baseball hat on, but he took that off in that entryway before you go into Judge Everett's court. So we were in this smaller courtroom, and he was already seated when I walked in. There were several, appear to be federal officers there, unknown names. I don't know their name. I told the reporter, why don't you go ask them? He asked me like I knew. I don't know them. I was like, go ask them. Mentor lawyer was nice to me. That's interesting.
That's news in itself.
And then when we're leaving, you know, it's very short. And because they're doing the motion to suppress the jailhouse girls' testimony. And when we're leaving, Harvey looks dead at the pool camera. She's a 30-year-old woman who's a genius photographer. She's very good. She turns to her left to get his photo, and he waves his hands in the air. Can you see me like this? On both sides.
Yeah.
She got the picture. And then when we leave, he turned around and he goes, did you get a good picture? And she goes, yes, sir, I did. And he goes, very good. And he turned around. Like,
oh, so he's trying to get sympathy.
Argument.
He's getting sympathy he's trying to put out a sympathetic picture. So, of course, I'm thinking the best. Like, you're trying to, obviously, I'm thinking the way I think someone who wanted to help their wife out with their trial would think. But Harvey's just angry I was so wrong. Harvey's angry at the press, angry at Tallahassee. Everyone's so stupid there. Why would anyone even report on this grandmother on trial for murder?
No.
Oh, you thought it was childish?
Not sympathetic. Let me see. Oh no, like this on both hands, like jazz hands. Like crazy jazz hands. Yeah. No,
they're so aggressive, that Adelson family.
It was the opposite of that. It was aggressive. And so I'm walking out with her. Her name's Alicia. And I'm walking out with her at the elevator, and Rebecca, another follower of yours, was with me. And she goes, he scared me. And I said, I could tell. Because she turned around and looked at us like, what's he going to do? So he's just asking for a fight. Like, he's just ready for a fight.
There's certainly rumors around Harvey being very... So that's what I think that's going to be the thing to watch in this trial, is going to be Harvey Adelson's behavior. Can he keep it together? And this is not the kind of courtroom where you can have a lot of bad behavior. I don't think Judge Everett is going to tolerate it. So that should be something to watch. I mean, that gives you his attitude going into it. And maybe gives you a little bit of Donna's attitude. Maybe if we were listening in on their jailhouse calls, we would hear all her resentment towards being tried for this case. We know that she thinks the people of Tallahassee, at least Charlie does, are unfair to her. I think Donna does too. They're unfair. And Charlie said that they're basically says that they're stupid in his jailhouse calls. And that this is all coincidence. And how could Charlie ever be convicted? I mean, we've heard Donna say the jury didn't listen. They didn't deliberate. They didn't listen. So she's going into this with a chip on her shoulder. We know that, and that can't be good. And also, we know that Donna Adelsen's going to testify. So she's supposed to be sympathetic on the stand and likable. Unfortunately, it shouldn't be part of our legal system, but when you take the stand, the jury has to at least you have to be relatable. They don't have to love you, but they do have to believe you. And we've seen Donna on the stand. I didn't believe her. I didn't believe her extortion story. I don't know how my audience feels about it, but I don't think anybody's coming up and saying, I'm going to knock those pretty little teeth out of your mouth while she's brushing her teeth. And I talked to Patty about what she thought about my theory about her saying that she was extorted and saying that she was paying her extortion with these packages of commissary. So there's two ways you can get commissary: from the actual commissary in jail, or you can get packages sent in from different organizations that make care packages for inmates. And the way Donna put it was that this extorter in jail, or this fellow inmate who took Donna's arm and wrapped it around her back and threatened her, said that you're going to pay me in packages, meaning these commissary packages. So I thought it was an interesting timing, curious timing, that this comes up right at the time when Donna's scheme is exposed, this investigation into Donna eliciting favorable testimony from her former jail house, her jail daughter. That's what she called Jarena Bernhardt. Her jail daughter. Let me just flash a photo of her for those watching on YouTube. We've seen the same photo so many times. But maybe she was trying to pay some of these people in commissary packages. Patty thought she was probably keeping herself safe and keeping people sweet on her with commissary. I would think so. But we also know that Donna, what's alleged in this investigation, what's come out is that one reporting was that Donna was trying to harm Drena's mother. Was she trying to pay Drena's mother via Harvey? So there was a secret hearing, an in-camera hearing. So they kicked out the public, including Harvey, for that. And that concerns this investigation. And that's going to be the big bombshell of Donna's trial. I mean, we all thought that we basically get Charlie's trial 2.0 with Donna. So maybe Donna testifying. But we've gotten so much more. And of course, Wendy testifying again. But we've gotten so much more because we have this whole mystery of this investigation that we don't really know much about. Now, the defense says it's all nonsense. They also allege that in this investigation by the state that Donna's lawyers were letting Donna use their Apple Watches and other devices to contact Harvey. So talk to Harvey in a way that wouldn't be recorded by the jail. And who knows if they're going to be up on get bar complaints for that. I'd be shocked if they don't. But maybe not. Defense lawyers seem to get away with a lot. And so was she communicating through Harvey to try to harm these people? Now, the defense says it's all nonsense. It's all made up. There's no evidence of it except the testimony of 2 inmates. So one is Drina Bernhardt, one is Patricia Bird. It's been named. And then there's a third inmate who was named, who sounds like she's going to support the defense in some ways. But they still say the state is going to call state's witness, this Melissa Lockwood or Mickey Lockwood. So those are all things that we will find out as the trial goes on. But it was a pretty, I would say, fairly unexciting hearing. I'm not going to watch it again. I had a 3-hour live today. So, but just the basic, and I'm losing my voice, the basic gist of it is that they cannot elicit Wendy to say she's taking the fifth. So meaning they can't ask her questions that have not been covered by the state in their direct on cross. The defense can't, meaning Donna's defense team. They are limited in the questions they can ask her on cross. But even with that limitation in Katie McBanawa's trial, and forgive me if I'm understanding if that was a slightly different ruling, that was that's the most gruesome cross Wendy Adelson has ever gotten. I've gone over it more than once on my channel. So that's the cross that Chris DeCoste, Catherine McBanawa's lawyer, did, that starts out with, "This is all about you, Wendy, isn't it?" So that is pretty much what I have for today. I mean, I'm just going to keep it super short. Hey, everybody. Hey, MG Smitty, A-Day, Colleen. And just finish up with a victim impact letter, the way I usually do. Let me make that a little smaller. Okay. So Danny Markell was among my closest friends in Tallahassee, Florida, during the period that I lived there from 2004 to 2013. He was a brilliant man and a warm and generous human being. To this day, my daughter Madeline, now 9, and my son Julian, now 12, refer to Uncle Danny on the occasions when his name comes up. Having to explain to them what happened to him and to make sense of this terrible tragedy was an experience I hope my wife and I never have to repeat. Danny and I met through FSU, where I taught in the history department from 2004 to 2013. We shared academic and intellectual interests before attending law school. Danny had done a master's degree in history at Cambridge with a renowned person in my field, and we knew numerous other people in common outside of Florida. We shared an interest in religion and in Israel, among other subjects, and we worked out at the same gym. But most importantly, we shared the simple pleasure of friendship. Although Christian, I, along with great many Gentiles in Tallahassee, was a frequent guest at Danny's weekly Shabbat dinners, which overflowed with joy and generosity. He and his family were frequent guests at our home at 8024 Tennyson Road. Our children played together, and indeed his boys were supposed to come over to the house to swim the weekend after he was killed. My wife was as fond of Danny as I was, and often when I think of him now, I see the two of them in the kitchen together, preparing food and laughing. Danny had a terrific sense of humor. He doted on his children, and he was as fine and creative and intellect as I have had the privilege to know. I write this with tears in my eyes, and indeed, I still find it difficult to speak of Danny without getting emotional. We left Tallahassee not long after his death, and although I love the city and its people, his murder has irrevocably tainted what are otherwise fond memories of our time there. This is just one of the many things Danny's killers have stolen, robbing the world not only of a beautiful soul, a faithful father, a beloved son, and a dear friend, but of a fount of joy that should be continuing to flow right now and for many years to come. Sincerely, Darren M. McMahon. Mary Brimsmed Wheelock, Professor of History, Florida State University. And he's writing from Dartmouth College, where my grandfather graduated from, my mother's side. All right, that's what I have for today. Please hit the thumbs up on your way out. I'll be live starting early in the morning at 9 to live stream, if they're live, the jury selection. If not, we'll just say hi and goodbye. But if they're live streaming the jury selection, I will be live streaming it tomorrow at Donna's trial. Okay, have a great night, everybody. Thanks so much for listening.
What a stitch you're in. You plotted a murder 'cause you wanted to raise your daughter's kid. Tallahassee is just a stop on the way to civilization. Miami is where all the fancy people are. The TV is a power 5. You can't get away from that. Two-toe, tay-toe, hoo-ho, you know the guy you pay, and you can't get away from that. Oh, Donna, what a stitch you're in. You thought jail was just for the little people, but now you're so blankets with the locked-up crew. You're a grandmother in lockdown, and your one-way ride to freedom you blew. What a stitch you're in. Your family are exiled from the social circles you swam in. We all know you never made that banana bread or offered to babysit for Dan, but you'll soon be making license plates and thinking